What is going on YouTube? So I've been wanting to do this video for a long time, honestly for over a year now, and now I want to say this straight off the bat. What I want to do is I want to make the ultimate lowering video for the RD1 or slash CRV, the first Gen CRV. And I did something similar with lifting a CRV. Now, saying this right off the bat, I want to say it is right now September 2022. No need for the exact date, just that's the month. And things will change. So you may see this video then and stuff. A lot of the basics will still be the same, but maybe some of the parts will be improved upon, or some different brands may shut down or open up. So keep that in mind right off the bat. I've had some very ignorant people come after me and be like, oh, well, you said this, and in the comment section or personal messages. And it's like, yeah, that video was 2 years ago though. Things have changed and evolved, or some of those parts are not available. So I thought that was basic sense, but I guess I have to say that because common sense is lacking to some people these days. Now, that being said too, I do not know everything about the RD1 or about CRVs or anything. I don't ever claim to. So I want to say that right off the bat. I'm just giving my information of what I've been through and what helps, and talking with people and going through things and stuff that I've researched and done. So now that that's out of the way, what I wanted to say was basically go over video and sharing information, because I've had a lot of questions asked about my RD1 with lowering them, and I'll move out of the way so you can see. And I've had just a lot of general questions in general about the vehicle. A lot of those I have answered. You can see in prior videos if you go through my list or take time to go through my name, you can see things. I won't be talking about the wheel setup. I won't be talking about the tire setup in this video. I will not be talking about the brakes or my lip or body or anything. Those will all be in separate videos. Totally don't mind. If you have a question for me, don't feel bad. If it is something different, I'll link you to the link in the video. The best way to hit me up is on Instagram, which is CRV_Tom, just like my YouTube channel, or my Facebook. But generally I'm on Instagram more, or just write in the comments on YouTube. So with all the formalities out of the way of what's going on and things I wanted to clear the air of first, let's jump right into it. So I've had a lot of questions asked about things on the RD1 and with regards to lowering. And the first thing that I want to get out of the way, I said this in the ultimate lift video, is your basic maintenance on this, guys. I hope people are getting more educated with it and starting to see. I haven't seen as many posts, but I haven't had as much time to be on the forums or the Facebook page as much as I used to, just with life in general getting busy. But going back, number one thing is basic maintenance. So many people, let's get it right out of the way, do not replace the ball joints on this thing and slam them to the ground or lift them up in the sky and just think they're gonna last, man, and they snap, and then they blame the ball joint company, they blame Honda, instead of just 90%, and that's 90%, not all, but majority, instead of just blaming their own ignorance and admitting their own fault for not taking care of a 20-plus-year-old vehicle. The Honda stuff is great. It's going to last a long time, but it ain't going to last forever, and it needs to be taken care of. So right off the bat, I'm not going to share off a ton of brand names. I'm just going to say the one I use. I have used Moog. There's some people having some issues with Moog. I think it's user issue, basically an installing issue. That's just my personal opinion, because I have had Moog in this one and my other CRV and a lot of my Hondas since 2018 on this one. Actually, sorry, 2017. And I have had no issues. I have had constant great use out of them and have not had to replace them. In fact, I have a backup set just in case that, that fact. But I have had great luck with them. I have had no issues on all of my vehicles, so I don't know what's going on there. But there is a number of different names. I did name a few in my ultimate lift video, but I'm not going to go. This video is not going to be as long. because this is a little bit more simple and basic with what's out there. Now, of course, you're going to want to do your tie rods. You're going to want to do your inner and outer tie rods, possibly replace your boot, possibly even replace your rack, which I have a video on the rack and pinion and did a few things, and I've also had still great luck, even with the issues I had personally with the company. I've had great luck with the Detroit axle rack and pinion. So that has worked out great for me, and you're going to want to do your bushings, and I will jump more into bushings later, but you're going to want to do all of your basic maintenance to your suspension, and through that, some of those things you can upgrade with better performance parts, and I will get to those in a second. But let me turn off this fan here too, so it's a little bit quieter. Now the only thing you probably hear is this damn cricket I can't find in the garage. It's driving me nuts. But so basically, you're gonna want to knock out your basic maintenance. Please don't ignore that, guys. If you don't know your basic maintenance, talk to someone. Go to your local auto parts store. Well, a lot of those guys now aren't as educational as they were when I was younger and things, you know. But there might be. Go to your local parts store. Do the research on the internet. Do research on, you know, hit up YouTube. Just learn how to change these parts out. Trust me, it's going to save you a fortune in the long run, and you're going to be happy you did. And do it. I'm not saying you got to go out and buy the most expensive parts or OEM parts from Honda. If you got that cash flow, do it. But you can go out there and get the mid-grade parts, the better parts to a certain point. Just try not to go to the cheapest, easiest, you know, part ever. Unless you're doing a complete budget build and you're ready for the thing to break soon and you don't care, that's fine. But if you're looking to make this thing last years and have a good ride and ride quality good, please take care of your basic maintenance and choose some at least decent or quality name parts. All right, so basic maintenance out the way. Number 2 is we're gonna go into coilovers and lowering springs and airbags. Now, of course, there's a few different lowering springs out there, such as like H&R. I'm not gonna go in all of them. I believe, I can't remember if Skunk 2 is still making any, or if they, I believe they did, but you don't quote me on it. It's been a while since I looked at lowering springs because I just looked at coilovers. But if you're going to go with lowering springs, just know your drop is going to be obviously limited. The drop is not very aggressive. And of course, you're going to want to replace your struts. These struts are all going to be blown and worn out unless you're super lucky to find one for low mileage. So, you know, you can try to find some Tokiko struts, which are really good if you can. They even still make them for the RD1 anymore. It's been a long time since I looked over there. You can just go with some OEM replacements. You can go with Bilstein or Bilstein, if I'm saying that right. Great strut. You can go with those too. I believe you can even use those on the lowered applications and the lowering springs. But what I would recommend, if you're not going, we'll skip right into airbags because you're only limited to so many companies that make airbags, and one of them being Trueheart that a lot of people go with. So I'm not going to go into all detail of different airbags. If you would like any airbags for RD1/First and CRV, just do a Google search on airbags and companies that make them, and you'll see. Now, I want to talk a little bit about airbags, being from a guy that has had airbags on different cars. Excuse me. Airbags are awesome. I love them. Handling is not really the greatest, but it's not as terrible as everybody tries to act and say. I'm talking in extreme situations or really pushing your vehicles when you're really going to feel the weakness of the airbags, as opposed to a good set of coilovers. The thing that sucks about airbags, and 99% of the people will tell you this that have had airbags for more than a year or two, is they tend to start weakening out, they start to leak, things start to burst on them, certain connections start to go on them, and really the headache just kind of sucks about it. But if you're willing to keep up with that, it's awesome to roll up to a parking lot, just fucking park, and go to a show and just slam that bitch to the ground. That shit is awesome, and it is so much fun, and it is awesome to not have to worry when you have to raise it up and you can just drive cross country and not even worry about it. But again, like I said, they leak. They have problems with weight. Man, you have an airbag pop on you in the wrong time or start leaking, and I have had this happen. It fucking sucks. A lot worse than just a blown strut. So, again, True Heart and other companies make those. Take a look if that's the route you want to go. More power to you. I think it is awesome, just not the route I wanted to go with lowering. Coilovers. Coilovers are going to be your go-to if you want to do this. If you want a cheap set, you can always look at cheap no-name eBay brands. Sorry, eBay brands. To the Max Peating Rod coilovers, which is cheaper, you've seen on my channel. They honestly are not bad coilovers for price, but they are not great coilovers that you're going to want to do if you're going to want to be racing it. Longevity. Honestly, actually, I had mine last, I think it was like 2 or 3 years, no problem. But I'm talking like long, like 5 or years or longer, and you really want to put some miles on them and, you know, really put them to the test. Track racing, I wouldn't recommend them for long term. They are getting better setups and styles now. Or sorry, not styles, but tiers like tier 1, 2, 3, 4. You know, they're making better track-worthy ones, and the company is growing. So as of right now, the cheap set you'd buy is more for street drive and stuff like that. There is improvement coming, it seems like. So you never know. They could end up being really good, and they are affordable. They give you a good coilover for paying for your buck. Next would be like True Heart or Yonaka. Those are not bad. That's what I have on here. These are the True Heart Street Plus, or True Heart Streets, I believe. It's been a while since I got under there and messed with them. I do have unboxing videos and other videos of that and explaining about the coilover. Now, you can go from anything from, I think D2 still makes their coilovers. BC has the Extreme Drop Kit and different things you can use. My brand go-to, and this is from also Adam Lyons. I'll put him on here. He is a guy to reach out to. I believe he does not have Instagram anymore, but he does have Facebook. I'll put his pictures of his on there. If you're a CRV guy, you probably know this CRV. Yeah, excuse me. He tracks this CRV, races this CRV, daily drives this CRV. Awesome machine. Dude has done a lot with the class that he has to stay in with this CRV. So that being said, he is using Fortunato, which I have a brand new set for the Prelude I have not put on yet, and that's for my 93 Prelude right there. I have 2 of them, 94 and 93, but for my 93, I have a set of Fortunatos that I'm going to be putting on there, and I have not yet. So I cannot say I have a personal opinion with dealing with them yet, but everything I've watched, learned, and seen from these things, these are great. If I were to go with a new coilover and I was staying lowered, I would 100% go with Fortunato. Just from the customer service I dealt with was amazing going through waiting for stuff for my Prelude. They were the nicest people. They kept me informed. And honestly, I have so much shit going on, I haven't even opened a box, and I've had them for years. And I've watched other people, or 1 year, sorry. I've watched other people open a box, and just the quality and the things they write in their customer service are amazing. So that would be what I would go. So if I could recommend one, it would be Fortunato for this, because the things I've heard is great, and I think you guys will be very happy with that. They are a little bit more spendier, but they are worth it, every penny on there. So I'll probably put a little picture up here of all different coilovers. I am going to put a link of all different brands. I'm going to try my best for you guys, for all my different brands and everything, to show you and see what there is that I can do for you. So moving on from coilovers, I went over coilovers pretty much, and I'll do a little walk around of my CRV here for you. And I want to say with coilovers, you're going to have to get your fitment right. It depends on your tire, your wheel size, what look you're going for. If you're going, you know, really hardcore cambered in, if you're going stance, if you're going slammed, you know, whatever you're trying to go for. I'm not here to explain that. That's going to be up to you and what you're doing. If you like my fitment, you can check out my fitment video and my explanation about my wheel and tire fitment and how I set it up. So that's me different, but coilovers, you know, there is abundance of them right now for the RD1/CRV models, which I am so happy that is something, because when I first got into it a few years back, there wasn't as many, and it just keeps growing. All right, number 3 is camber kits. Camber kits, you are gonna have to go with a front camber kit at least. You cannot try to lower this thing good and go with an OEM camber arm. It is going to get stuck up in that damn fender well, and you are going to be pissed, and it's going to cause some fucking problems. There's people that are willing to shave their camber arms. There's people willing to cut in there and slam it, you know, cut their frame and go up. That is up to you. But if you want to do it the proper way and you want to be able to take parts on and off and replace parts on the road or change your mind and not go with permanent damage to the arm or different things, you are going to want to go with, there is, I believe Hard Race makes one, and I believe there's a few other ones out there. But I am going to tell you the one that I have had tested, tried, true, lifted, and lowered, and beat the living shit out of for years and driven across the country multiple times, is going to be True Heart camber kit, front and rear. I have had great success from those. Another good one for the rear is SPC. They are very thick, but to me they're about just as thick as the OEM, or sorry, not the OEM, but the True Hearts. True Heart does make a lifted and a lowered application now, which is great. What they also do with the coilovers too, lifted coilovers. I haven't heard such great things about those, but I haven't got to experience those myself. But camber kit, hands down, I am gonna say True Heart, because you can also replace, you can buy the pieces, and you can buy, in fact here, they're right here, you can order the new ball joints, and generally, at least they used to, they'll come with a whole new plate and everything for the top, new threads, new screws with the ball joint. It's pretty nice. And they literally, it's easy. You call them up and they're affordable, and you can get a whole new ball joint for when yours wears out. Because it's going to happen. They're going to wear out. But I've only had to replace one. Yeah, sorry, I'm all stained and dirty from cleaning up the garage. So I look like a fucking mess right now. But so what happens when you work on cars, right? So yeah, basically True Heart front and rear camber kit, way to go in my opinion. Ultimately, way to go. Adam Lyons runs them on his too. He's been tracking this stuff for many years now and had no issues. I know most people have had no issues. If you see an issue with them, generally it is going to be user error, whether or not they're going to want to admit it, or if there was really a malfunction or misprint or something you want to save from it, True Heart will usually take care of you if you talk to them and at least respond to them kindly without a fucking attitude. All right, so number 4 I'm going to go into is the lower control arms. The lower control arms are not, I had one person ask just recently, I need to get back to, that asked, are they necessary? No, they are not necessary. You can keep with your OEM ones, but you are going to have a problem long run with getting your toe and your tire tucked in as well, plus the bushings will be worn out on your OEM arms. I would suggest going with True Heart or MPC or shoot, I can't even remember the other one that was around. I can't remember if they're around anymore. I'll try to link it down in there. There's a number of different lower control arms you go with. My opinion, for lowered application, True Heart's the way to go. True Heart's lower control arms have never steered me wrong. I even had them on the lifted application. I wouldn't recommend them. They are a little bit longer and they tend to actually cause problems. When you're lowered and you drop down like this, that is why they're longer, and they actually kind of help out with tucking your wheel and aligning everything up. So it's definitely a nice thing. Plus they come with a spot for your OEM or aftermarket sway bar connections, your links. So not gonna go too long on that. Again, if you're watching this video, sorry I gotta rush a little bit because something's up on my phone and it's only letting me record so much time. 5, bushings, like I was talking about before. Of course you're gonna wanna replace your OEM bushings, but as much as you can, if you have the money or the time, you're going to want to go with energy suspension bushings for the front or something similar. Hard Race, Siberia, there's a number of different bushings. And nice thing, pretty much everything from the front set of bushings, do your research. I'm not going to go into each one because of the time right now. But you can use EK bushings, front and rear. So for the trailing arm, True Heart makes a bushing for it too, which has been very good for lowered application. You can go with energy suspension, numerous amount of bushings. Number 6, big thing that a lot of people need to realize is the toe arms on here the bushings are going to shit the bed. They're going to lock up. You're going to have problems. You need to get rid of that stock toe arm, and you need to go with, again, True Heart toe arms. Do not go with that eBay junk. True Heart toe arms are really going to be your best bang for your buck. They're going to work good, and you can use the ones from the Civic and Integra years, 88, I want to say, through 94. Just look it up. They do have it. I have a video on that, and do some more research. There's plenty of people have done that. So you're going to want to go with adjustable toe arms. Some of them you had to do some trimming and different things. I did not actually. I set them up, and my guy was really good with able to get in there at the alignment shop. If you get a really good alignment shop, hopefully you won't have to go through that trimming, but some people have. And if you do it right, it works out just as well too. So last but not least, number 7 here is going to be strut bars. And I'm going to go over something strut bar and bracing. So, and sway bars. We'll put that all together. So, strut bar for the front, you're obviously going to need, there's 2 types made for the B20B and the B20Z, basically, you know, plus numbers with the American version. So, you're going to have to go with 2 different types strut bar. Ultra Race is the one I would definitely recommend. Ultra Race is the strut bar you want to go for. They're going to be the sway bars. They're going to be strut bars, everything you pretty much need for chassis bracing. You can go with like eBay EK rear strut bar that will fit. I have one of mine, does just fine. I had it laying around, bolts straight up. So, but for the front, you're going to need RD1 or you know, CRV specific. But last but not least is Boosted Fab. I'm going to put a link to them in here. Boosted Fab makes a number of chassis braces, from the diff to the chassis bracing on the body to a rear diff mount that is wonderful. And you guys need to check them out. Definitely won't steer you wrong. You will definitely be happy that you looked up Boosted Fab. Give him some time. It's a little bit, he's more of, I think, a one-man show or 1 or 2 guys, I think. So they're more custom made, but man, is this stuff good. Adam Lyon's been running that and his stuff, and he absolutely loves it, and it looks good and is held up. I am going to be putting it on with relifting my application, but nonetheless, that's pretty much the ultimate lowered video in a nutshell there for you to kind of give you an, I'm going to put a list below of all these links here for you. You can go and then do some of your own research, but pretty much that is showing some of the stuff that you could do. Okay guys, so pretty much I gave you a quick run around of everything you need, and the reason why I say ultimate is because I'm going to try to make sure this has a great list for you on everything you need. But this is just a quick walk around in my CRV to give you, you know, my stance of how it's lowered. I am now going back to lifted because I love my CRV lowered, but I actually enjoyed it more lifted. I have multiple other vehicles lowered. So this is my stance on mine as of right now, and if you would like to know more on this, there's obviously videos. Just ask me and link them, or take a look into my all my video list. So these things are fun lowered if you do it the right way. Yes, with my setup you are going to get a little bit of rubbing on the really hard bumps and everything. I did not want to camber in that much because I did not want to wear and eat away my tires. But I could very much, if I wanted to, slam this bitch and camber it in with the setup I have. I could literally go very low. You can see my mud flaps already almost touching the ground. I could probably drag mud flaps. And just to give you basically, you know, what everything looks like from underneath and show you guys. So that's where it's at. And that's the setting I wanted to stay with. And you can see my sway bar is not connected, rear sway bar, because those broke when it was lifted. I do have the new stuff for them, but I never put it on because I just never got around to it. It was dead of winter and I didn't want to do it at that time. So yeah guys, I hope that helps. You know, anything you guys need to know, I will be doing one on my front lip. There is another one out there from a few different guys. It's great information. Again, you can find a lot of this information out there already, but I just wanted to kind of give you guys a one-stop shop for some information and some good links, and trying to find what you can do, and you know, and understand that if anybody tells you lowering the CRV is going to look bad, hell no, fuck them. This shit looks amazing, and I wish I had 4 or 5 CRVs because I would just keep this one lowered and lift the other one, but unfortunately I don't right now, and finding them in the Midwest is a pain in the ass because they're always going to end up being rusted. All right, guys, I hope that helped. If you have any other questions, let me know. And hopefully, you know, I helped out there. I know this was a bit quicker and not that long and in detailed, but honestly, there's a lot of stuff out there for lowered, and I figured that, you know, you guys are gonna know. You're gonna be able to look up and see what you want, and of course, this video hopefully will help kind of just get a view in your head and kind of see what you want to do. And you know, obviously too, the links that will be in this video down below this video should help out. So, all right, guys, I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. If you have any questions or suggestions, let me know. You probably won't see too much more of my lifted CRV, or sorry, my lower CRV, because it is going to be lifted. And yeah, so I will be selling a lot of this lowered stuff here pretty soon if anybody's interested. I don't know exactly when, but it will be soon.